As we look again at the map showing you the epicenter, we now see these visuals coming in from Thailand firstly, Bangkok, showing you just the level of smoke and dust in the air. Devastating aftershocks, devastating earthquake that has hit the region. People in Bangkok were evacuated after a skyscraper under construction collapsed following the powerful 8.2 magnitude earthquake with a depth of around 10 kilometres. It struck near Mandalay, Myanmar. The USGS has reported a strong aftershock impacting the region and prompting emergency responses in neighbouring countries. We're now seeing one of those emergency responses. This is a live visual we are currently seeing. If you look behind the rescue workers, you can get an idea of the devastation caused by this 8.2 magnitude earthquake, devastating to infrastructure, and of course the human impacts. We're seeing people in these buildings needing to be rescued. The true impact we don't yet know, but what we are hearing and what we are seeing in terms of this response is a serious catastrophe on a scale like other serious earthquakes potentially that we've seen before. Here we have rescue workers who are, of course, going to be working around the clock to try and find people trapped in the wreckage, trapped in the rubble. It may take days, people still stuck where rescue efforts will continue. We take our mind, of course, back to Tokyo, where we saw an earthquake in recent memory, people being rescued days after the initial impact. Of course, as well, the tsunami in Japan, something that is not being talked about as much given the geography of Myanmar, but still, of course, the devastation that we've seen that you can see on screen now. We're looking at impacts that are going to impact these people's lives for the rest of their lives, the scenes that they are currently working through. Let's also take our mind to the families of the people living in these regions, loved ones across the world, looking at these images right now, seeing the rescue efforts that are ongoing, but also understanding the devastation and the potential loss of life that we could be looking at. Mandalay Airport and Sagaing's oldest bridge have collapsed in the powerful quake. Chaos grips the city as people panic. There is a serious level of distress caused by this. We're getting people, of course, out in the streets, running away from buildings, scared for their lives, but also scared for the lives of their loved ones. Panicked scenes we're seeing now. Of course, these are live. These visuals, my apologies, they're not live. These are from when the quake first struck. People at an airport. The confusion that is here, the fears, the worries, people going to enjoy their holidays, planning for potentially a week of happiness, are now facing uncertainty and fear that not only they have been affected, but also potentially their loved ones as well. This is from Mandalay, close to the epicenter. We know this 8.2 magnitude earthquake has struck, with following aftershocks as well. These images that we're seeing here from Mandalay just show you the level of devastation at play. Dust, smoke, ceiling parts falling to the ground. Complete and utter shock for those involved in it. We move again to Raju Manvani, who is joining us from Thailand. Raju, I'd like to speak about that shock. You, of course, are in Thailand. I assume that you've been in touch with people around as well. What's the fear like amongst the population in Thailand? Is there fears that another aftershock could hit and cause more damage, or people really looking to sort of stay strong in these moments and support those who need it most?
Well, like I said earlier, this earthquake, the intensity is something that we have never ever felt in Bangkok. I've been here in Bangkok for 38 years, and I have faced around 5 earthquakes, four of which I have evacuated the building. One was a very mild one, but in those 4, I mean, nothing matches absolutely anything to the intensity of this one. So yes, there is fear. Aftershocks are still continuing. In the 1 hour after the first earthquake, there were approximately 10 to 11 aftershocks. But again, the intensity is reducing. There is fear in people, and a lot of my friends are who staying on higher floors. Elevators are out of order. The elevator companies are refusing to send anybody because it's not safe to enter the buildings as per their company policy, which is fair enough. So people are having to walk up 20, 30 stories. All they're planning to do is pack their bags and go and stay with other friends who have houses on lower floors. Fear is there. Definitely, fear is there. Even, I'll tell you honestly, even I'm putting up a brave front, but there is fear inside. I have my family over here to look after too. So we taking the best precautions, whatever we have. Any mantelpieces or photo frames, we are getting them off. We are putting our TVs flat on the tables or on the floors. So there's nothing to drop down. And again, we're making a new emergency bag just in case we have to evacuate at any time at night. And we can do it so at a moment's notice.
Yes.
We are being ready. We are getting ready. So is everybody. I think there could be aftershocks, but as I said earlier, the intensity of the aftershocks is reducing. But I'm not an expert, so I don't know whether it can go back to that massive magnitude again. I don't know. So I might as well be ready for it. And of course, we all are praying for those people who are hurt and who have lost their lives here, unfortunately. There are reports of
Raju, I'm really sorry to interrupt. Thank you very much, of course, for detailing the concern you have and the continuing concern. But in Bangkok, rescuers are trying to free 81